All right. Hi, everybody. Happy Thursday. Thank you so much for joining me. As a realtor, it is always interesting how we are also different and use different ways to try and keep in touch with people. Some people might spam me with phone calls, text messages, postcards in the mail. I have just recently decided I love video. I love data and statistics. So I'm going to try this. I'm going live, which is a little scary. So if I slur on a word or mess up, you can't hold it against me. And I'm gonna go ahead and jump right in. And if you have any questions, just let me know at the end. We recently had a great REMAX meeting with some awesome economists and our CEO, and it was wonderful. So I got permission to take some of their slides and created some of my own. And we're gonna answer the big question, are we in a housing bubble? The answer to that question is going to be at the end, so you have to stay tuned. So I'm going to go ahead and just jump right in. Hopefully these slides are coming in. Good news is the job market is slowly coming back. The hourly wages are up 2% over last year, which is awesome. However, obviously, every company, everybody is hiring. So we still need that unemployment to kind of slowly go away so people can get back in the restaurants, so you can go out to dinner and not, last night I felt like we were waiting for eternity for a table. You can feel it when you go into a restaurant that they are struggling for help. But the economic recovery is here and is unlike anything we've ever seen. This graph here I love because it shows the US gross domestic product and what they were expecting. And obviously in 2020 when COVID happened, it tanked. But now we are back up and we're doing better than ever and trucking right along, good old USA, making stuff and doing good. So that's awesome. But the big question is, will the stock market crash? And inflations are high, and are we in another housing bubble? So I want you to brace for impact. I'm going to cover some things, and supply and demand is my biggest takeaway from economics in high school. And it's all about supply and demand. And right now the issue is supply is low and demand is high. So across the US, this is what it looks like. Buyer traffic is strong everywhere. Every realtor across the US is feeling this. Every buyer is feeling this. So if you do not want to be in this situation, I would suggest maybe looking into some of these light blue states. South Dakota, Utah is beautiful, Minnesota, Kentucky, Vermont, absolutely beautiful. So maybe those would be better places to go. And if you need to sell your home, I can help you with that. But I really would love you to stay here in Charlotte, but I get off on a tangent. Now, seller traffic. So this is the issue. We have no listings. We have no homes to sell. Like it's insane. Most sellers today, their homeowners their houses are equity rich. They're sitting on a ton of equity. And I don't blame them for not wanting to move unless it's the right house. I have a list of buyers who would love to downsize with a master down or a ranch, but they're picky and they have every right to be picky. If this was my last house, I wanted to have everything I want to have. It's not that they don't necessarily mind paying top dollar, but they're going to wait till the right house comes along. So just, if you have any homes like that, let me know, because I have some awesome buyers. I need to put a roof over their head, and then that will give me other listings I can help sell that will help this whole vicious circle we're in. All right, and this is across the US. So this shows basically appreciation is everywhere. I know here in Charlotte, we are on average about 15 to 16% appreciation over last year. It obviously depends on where in Charlotte you are, if you're a house or a condo, etc. But this is just a very telling graph. Months inventory homes for sale. This is a term normally you are being told, hopefully when you're selling your home, your agent will say, on average, this is how long it should take your home to sell. This is a nationwide graph. Here in Charlotte, we are down to about a month. And honestly, I think it's less than that. The homes that I'm seeing are not selling fast. There's one in particular I just showed. It was listed for $600,000. They had done nothing to it in 20 years. Maybe they mowed the grass and trimmed some trees. Nothing to it in 20 years. But they were expecting to sell it at a home that just sold that had way more stuff done to it. buyers are not stupid. I mean, if they're going to pay top dollar and want to be in top schools and know they're going to have to put 100 to 200,000 into a house, buyers and buyers agents, I mean, for the most part, we're smart, and we're going to want to make a good investment. So sellers, don't get greedy. If you haven't done anything in your home in 20 years, your home is not going to be worth the home that just sold that had a gazillion things done to it. So long-winded story to that is, if your home looks amazing and you've been keeping up with it, it's going to sell hopefully quick. If it's a little rough around the edges and you're being a little unrealistic, these normal rules might not apply to you, and it's going to take a little longer. And then I just love graphs. This is the same graph showing it going down a slide. So month supply is quick. And then this is showings per listing. So I remember the good old days where I could book a showing and it would be a 2-hour block and you could leisurely take your time from house to house. That is not the case anymore. As soon as a home hits the market, the showings literally are booked for the first day and a half, and they're 30-minute increments. 30 minutes. So no one can be late. No one can be stuck in traffic. That next agent is knocking on the door to get in right away. The buyers are out there, they're hungry, and it shows in the statistics. Sales price. So yes, green is Charlotte, blue is our region, the area around Charlotte. So obviously our median sales price has increased from $265 last year to $307. And this is including single family homes, condos, everything. So again, it's going to vary based on, zip code home. So if you're curious, but your specific area, definitely ask me, but this is a wide range. And then this graph I love. Thank you, Karush. This one is showing where the price changes are going per price point. So what this is saying is in the $0 to $100,000 range, we have about 40% less homes to choose from. And obviously as the price increases, it thins out. We have obviously way less people looking to buy $1 million homes. So that market has not changed really as much. But it's tough out there. It's tough out there in that 100 to 600 price point. It's tough, but it's just an interesting graph. This shows where we are compared to when the market tanked in 2008. It's taken us 14 years to get back to when it was, when everything tanked in 2008. And a lot of you might not know, I got my license in 2006. So I experienced the market in its glory days. Everything was great. I mean, it was like, woo, this is so fun. And then everything tanked. And so it's really interesting as an agent being able to be on both sides of the market, and it just kind of gives you some interesting insight. So now I'm kind of inching towards the good news and the answer to the question, are we in a housing bubble? So hang in there, eat your sandwich, drink your shake. So because of COVID, Biden or the government had done the forbearance on foreclosures. So no one had any foreclosures pretty much this past year. So we are expecting that ended in June of 2021. So we're expecting more short sales and foreclosures to start hitting the market fall, winter, Q1, Q2 of 2022. Now, I don't think it's going to be like a gazillion all at once. You're going to see most of this probably towards those lower price points, maybe, and then a little scattered throughout. But what it's going to do is just hopefully help alleviate some of the supply and demand issues we're having. The other negative, obviously, is inflation. Jen, if you're watching, Jen was just over yesterday and we were talking about this. I mean, the cost of living is high. Like if you actually pay attention to your chicken breasts that you're buying, I mean, things are expensive. And even though the feds might try to set rates and, Houston, we have a problem, like inflation happens. And I know personally the real estate industry number is skyrocketed. My clients who just built a new construction home this year, I mean, the builder said, so they went under contract 2020 June, I think. So if they had gone under contract this year, that house probably would have been, I don't even know how much more, a lot more, tons more. Because lumber is so expensive, but a relief is apparently on the way. The government has lowered the tariffs on the Canadian lumber imports. So hopefully things are going to get a little bit better. Interest rates. So that's like the saving grades you hear us all talking about, but interest rates are so low. And that's another reason why people aren't selling. I think everybody and their mother has refinanced their home in the past 1 to 2 years. If you haven't, and you're not moving, you need to look into that. And I can send you some names if you don't know where to go for that. But this is kind of our saving grace, is the mortgage rates. And now I'm getting to the good fun stuff. This graph I just love. So this is showing what the smart economists are saying, not me. So if this is wrong, this is what those people are saying, right? The people that crunch numbers all day, where they're seeing interest rates to go between now and quarter 2 of next year. And what does this mean for a homeowner, or home buyer, I should say? So look at the difference in a price point. It goes from $296 in 2020, rate increase to just 1%, like from 3.1 to 3.2. That same house is now 323. Next year, they're estimating it would be around 3.7, and the price of the house is going to increase. And then look what that does to your monthly payment. So the question is, should I wait? I don't have a crystal ball, but this graph is very telling on if you should wait. I really feel if you're buying a home right now, it needs to be on a 5 to 7 year plan, not just, you need to have a plan. Either you're going to live there, or you're going to live there, and maybe if you plan on moving, you rent it out. Just make sure there's no rental restrictions. But this is kind of what they're saying. And the millennials, y'all are like not out there buying. You're still renting, making your landlord rich. So this is the reason why millennials are holding back. 7% of you say it's too complicated. Just call me. I'll help you out. I can help you with that. It's not that complicated. But the main reason is 53% of you is insufficient credit score history, which I totally get. So if you are 18 or older, or you're a mom with an 18-year-old, we advised Chloe to get her first credit card. And we're using it just for gas and I think medical stuff while she's at college, just to build credit, not to go on shopping sprees and things like that. But do your children a service if you agree with me, and just help them establish credit. Help them learn what does it mean when you buy something for $20 and your credit card has a 6% interest rate and you don't pay that off. What does that mean? It's a great lesson. I know I'm getting off on a tangent, but millennials are renting, and rent is skyrocketing. I've had 2 first-time home buyers this year, 19-year-old and 25-year-old. Now, yes, their parents did have to help them a little bit with the down payment to make it happen. But their parents and them saw the value of not spending almost $1,500, $1,800 on a rental versus getting something where they can get a roommate or two, and it's going to pay to improve the place and pay her mortgage. Genius. So there's many ways to do this. FICO score requirements, your goal is to be around 750, but I believe there are programs for below that, so don't get discouraged. And I'm getting to the end. Am I doing good? I can't see the screen on if anyone's watching yet because I'm using this really cool software. So hopefully someone's actually watching me. So the answer is no, we are not in a housing bubble. Things are flooded. It is amazing. We are flourishing. However, they are saying there is going to be I'm skipping ahead. So this is what they're saying. New construction is going to ramp up. So new construction is going to come back. However, that's still not going to meet the needs of our buyers. So we have that. Then we have the foreclosures hitting the market. So we have hopefully those 2 things happening that are going to give us a little bit more supply to help with our demand. Our interest rates are still going to be low. So that's awesome. Sorry, technical difficulties. Okay. 12% appreciation is not going to last forever. So if you think this is just going to keep going on, it's not. You need to look again at buying a home as a 5 to 7 year plan. Keep your equity if you can in your house. Anything could happen. Most people need to be in a home 5 to 7 years. Some of my clients, I'm like, are killing it. They bought 2 years ago, and I'm like, wow, like you're doing so awesome. So just keep that in mind. But they are saying there will be a correction in the next 2 to 3 years. But the good news is they do not believe it'll be a huge drop like we experienced in 2008. So yes, there will be a correction. No, they do not think it'll be a huge drop like we experienced in 2008. Now, if that is incorrect, this is what I've been told. So I just thought I'd share it with you. So I can't tell if anyone's watching, so I'm using this new cool software. But if you are watching, thank you so much. And feel free to message me if you have any questions about real estate, either in Charlotte or wherever you live. I know people, and I really appreciate your support. Thank you so much and have an awesome day.